we believe in better hospitals, better schools, not more tax loopholes. That is the view we have, and let me tell you why. We know that we've already had a great deal of money cut from hospitals across Australia, $2.8 billion cut, and that's hospitals here in Victoria, hospitals in Box Hill and elsewhere. We want to restore that money, because if you need to go to a hospital, if your parents or your children or you yourself needs to go to hospital for emergency procedure, for elective procedure, for cancer services, you should get those services. We also want to restore funding for schools. Now, I don't need to speak to the Chinese community about the importance of education. As my father always said to me, they can take everything away, but they can't take your education. And we understand the importance of education. Generations of people of Chinese heritage from all parts of the world, whether it's mainland China, Southeast Asia, Jennifer's from Taiwan, we have come to this country, and the first priority has been to ensure our children get a better education. But you can't get a better education if the schools aren't resourced. And we want to put more money, more investment into schools, into universities and into vocational education. So not cuts and chaos, better schools and better hospitals. That's what's on offer here. Better schools and hospitals from the Labor Party, more cuts and chaos from the Liberal Party. I would make one point about the government, the Liberal Party's agenda. You may or may not have read today's Financial Review. What that made clear was that in addition to the cuts they have already made, the economic plan of the Liberal Party requires $40 billion of cuts per year over the next decade, over the 10-year time frame. $40 billion a year, just so you understand how much that is. That is as much as the federal government spends on schools and public hospitals every year. Every year. So that would mean what the Liberal Party is putting to you is an agenda which says massive cuts to schools and hospitals across this country. And we don't think it's the right thing for Australians. Can I also talk about the parent visa? Every time I go to a Chinese community function, Indian community function, people ask me about what the Liberal Party are doing on the parental visa. And you might remember in the 2016 election they made some promises about what they would do. They said that they would allow the temporary sponsored parent visa to be available, that it would be available within a year, it would be uncapped. Well, it's still not available, and I think it's not till 2019, July 2019. It is capped. But I think the saddest thing, as you know, is that it's a limit of one set of parents per household. Now, I don't think families in the Chinese community or in any community should be asked to pick between their sets of parents. So I look forward to Labor making more announcements down the track, but I can absolutely say to you, you can anticipate an announcement from the Labor Party this election when it comes to parent visas, because we have heard what Jennifer has said and what the community have said, and we understand how important it is.